The XRP embrace is running wild. This last year has definitely brought some pretty big evolutions for XRP. We're talking about a huge DeFi explosion that's taking place. We're talking about enterprise adoption and embrace. We're talking about even an approval that took place yesterday surrounding an ETF product that does include XRP. And we're going to talk about all that and more, as well as some news that has happened over the last 24 hours. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I have to say that yesterday was kind of a weird red blip in a sea of green. We've seen a lot of green as of late in terms of XRP, and a lot of what we've been doing is chopping around. But just to give you guys some context of yesterday, basically, if you missed my other videos, Jerome Powell spoke in front of the panel in the morning, blamed tariffs as the reason that we have not seen interest rate decreases. Market didn't like that. We had the big beautiful bill approval in the Senate in the middle of the day. That definitely caused some volatility in the market. And then we actually had an approval for the digital large cap fund conversion by Grayscale into a basket ETF product, which actually includes XRP, which is a very exciting thing. And I'll talk about that more later on. But then even overnight, we had some good news, which is why we're seeing green in the market right now. And that is that Israel has agreed to this 60-day ceasefire. And we might be talking about the ending of this battle back and forth in the Middle East. So there are a lot of actually things to get excited about it on a bigger scale here. But what we are actually seeing from XRP and XRP Ledger itself is traction and adoption. And this is a really big deal. In fact, what we have seen over the last 2 years alone is a 430% growth in XRP Ledger payments. In fact, just this year, alone, I almost lost my train of thought. Just this year alone has been 8 million transactions. Guys, that's a big deal. And it's a pretty big acceleration in adoption, specifically over the last probably 8 months or so. And really this last fall is where this all came online, with the current administration being voted in and this embrace of US-based assets and these wins versus the SEC. You've seen just basically a DeFi boom for XRP Ledger. Not to mention, EVM sidechain, not to mention RLUSD. There's been a lot of things that have helped accelerate things. And this has made XRP one of the best holding up assets since December, which is saying a lot because we've dealt with a lot of negative news, a lot of black swan events, a lot of tariff discussions, stuff that the market hasn't liked, but yet here we are, basically the same prices we were at back on December 1st. I can't complain about that. And I hope you can't either, because what this means is that when the times are actually good, we probably have some even better things coming for XRP because the embrace is getting bigger and bigger. In fact, John Deaton just the other day was highlighting the fact that there are now 5 companies implementing an Xrp Treasury strategy. This is adoption of XRP, some of this even including adoption of XRP Ledger technology. Some of these companies, specifically Vivo Power International, which raised $121 million for a $100 million XRP Treasury, Worksport Ltd, Hyperscale Data, Weebus International, and then Wellgistics Health, which Wellgistics Health has actually adopted XRP to improve real-time payments and mitigate traditional banking lags. So this is a really big deal that we're seeing right now in terms of XRP. It's kind of flying under the radar. And I think that this is, a reason why, even though price has been kind of quiet, we're still seeing this accumulation and hoarding of XRP itself. It's because people know that there's a really big embrace that's coming. But if you needed even more confirmation, this big win yesterday is a huge one. For example, we actually saw the approval to convert the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund to a basket basket spot ETF. This includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Solana, and XRP itself. And what we've now seen is actually the odds for an XRP spot ETF surge to 95% from 90%. All right, not a big jump, but how much further can you surge, right? But now that we actually have a basket that includes XRP itself in it, it makes it that much easier to get an XRP spot ETF approved, right? Because they've already said yes once per se. So now say yes again. And we know that there have been 10 filings for XRP spot ETF products, and there's a lot of institutional interest in what's going on with XRP. And frankly, we might be talking again about XRP flipping Ethereum in terms of market cap. Right now, it's about little under 2.5x away from doing so. All right. So there are a lot of good things taking place. I think that this summer is still going to be very exciting, even though June was kind of a bust. Most months this year were kind of a bust. I think we have a lot to look forward to, a lot of embrace, a lot of shakeups in the market still coming. So that's what we got. Appreciate you guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think the odds are of an approval here in 2025? Do you see XRP continuing to gain traction? But have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.